Warning: the following episode contains medical horror. Listener discretion is advised. Last time on Desperate Attune, we saw the crew do some housekeeping and recruit a new partner. We caught up with Moss, who had been away for a while training with Humbi Rao. Rao had accepted his defeat in the Colosseum, but he did not much care for the way the crew had pulled it off. Having taken a liking to Moss, he had offered to teach her how to fight when intrigue was no longer an option, and in return he learned Moss's way of moving about the battlefield. When Moss returned to the boarding house, she found Bidrohi, Uzra, and Butler the butler playing Ludo outside. They were soon joined by Woods, the blacksmith, who had come to drop off a shipment of makeshift weapons. Woods also brought news that a friend of his would like to speak to the crew. Intrigued, they followed Woods back to his workshop, where he introduced them to the very butch and very tall golden-eyed Clementine, a Severosi deserter from the Union War. Bidrohi, who has an eye for this kind of thing, immediately clocked them as a stone-cold badass, and when Clem asked to join the Rising Moon, he eagerly accepted. Meanwhile, Mushfiq and Omid were following each other in a recursive cat-and-mouse game. When they finally caught each other, Omid warned Mushfiq to leave town. Someone had set the Fursan after them, and if either got caught, it would spell trouble for both. Mushfiq had some questions first. Most importantly, what had happened to his Ustad after the war. Omid knew of the man who'd smuggled the Ustad into the city, and he urged Mushfiq to use the smuggler to get out. But Mushfiq refused. He was done running from his problems. Fearing that the Fursan would arrest Mushfiq and get him to talk, Omid drew his blade to silence him permanently, when he was interrupted, ironically, by the Fursan. Making good use of the distraction, Mushfiq threw Omid through a tea stall and legged it. Back at the Rising Moon School, Saida was berating her students when Bidrohi, Moss, and Clem walked in. Noticing Clem's massive shield, Saida asked him to participate in a training drill where two Rising Moon swordsmen would work in tandem to create openings against a well-defended foe. The demonstration did not go according to plan, as Clem turned out to be more than a match for Bidrohi and Saida both, and absolutely hammered them. Awed at Clem's prowess, Saida offloaded her teaching duties onto the newcomer, and then Mushfiq came running in, bringing news that the Fursan were hot on their tail.
Uduasha City, where the sun is a mirror and the moon a shadow, where dancers cavort in forbidden operas, making love to forgetting and flame, where the wealthy play at war with silver swords and silken sashes, where the people mine the dead heart of a burning star for cannonballs and pipework, and where 1,000 secrets hide in a forest of paper and ink. Here, the 5 keybearers reside, the 5 who know the secrets of the broken gates of death. 5 only. There is no 6th spire, forlorn and forgotten in the desert. There is no one who looks to the displaced, the poor and destitute and landless, whose ancestry has been stripped from them by foreign looms and foreign sparkcraft, and no one has ever heard of the House of Ending. But this is their story. Their roots pulled up and burned, they stand in filth up to their necks. And that is precisely why they must keep their heads ever high. Welcome to Uduasha, immigrant. May it fear the name of the house you will build. Welcome to Desperate Attune, an actual play podcast about characters with their identities in peril, played by an international cast devoted to fiction-first gaming, collaborative world-building, and complex character drama.
So everyone's in the training yard?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, okay, then Mushfiq just comes in and trouble. Fursan.
What, are they coming here?
I think I shook them, but they know where we are. They're gonna come.
Of course they know where we are. Everyone knows where we are. What's happening? Okay, but have we done anything wrong? And I look around because I don't. Okay, we have done a few things wrong, but they don't know about that.
Oh no, they do. Is the others the falling star?
Oh shit, the falling star. And Bidra is like genuinely confused. Like, what the hell's going on?
Mm-hmm.
They I don't know exactly. They set the cops after us.
What are Why would the cops even have a reason to go after us?
Could it be the numerous people that we've fought with in plain daylight
That was in the arena, right?
Mm-hmm.
and elsewhere?
I pull Moss aside and I whisper into her ear because I don't want Clementine to hear about this. There's also just a little bit of identity theft.
Can you
reason.
and the theft of one shoe, if I remember correctly.
Yes, that's why the facade are after you. We're stealing one shoe.
One
I'm
shoe.
just accounting for everything. That's fine. Get me some water.
Oh, go have some tea from Mohis Bhai. He's over there.
I've had enough tea for today.
Okay, then I have nothing to do. Then I don't know what to say to you, Mushfiq Bhai. You can sort yourself out. But okay, this is serious. Shit. Fuck.
Okay,
There's
so
like
they're not
ridiculous.
coming here right now, but they're going to be here looking for Mushfiq or for us at some point. Is that what I'm getting?
Yeah, I think Saida will say, in that case, I have to speak to somebody, and I know better than to tell you not to follow me. So instead, and I'm going to turn to Clementine and I will say, if you catch them following me, you have my permission to beat them.
Incredible.
Okay,
I
very
think
good.
I don't think I have the authority to do that.
No.
I
I'm
was
giving you
also
the
hoping-
authority.
I mean, your kids sound very lovely. I wouldn't want to do that. I'm not a
Clementine's sister,
violent person.
if Saida auntie gives you the authority to beat the shit out of us, it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly cool. Don't even worry about it. If you beat the shit out of me, I'll be like, fair enough.
No, but I feel really bad for. I mean, your flip was really cool, but I feel really bad for that. I'm sorry. It's
I see.
I see that you.
Clementine-
No,
No,
please.
no. I'm speaking.
Yes, please.
Vikroti, you have this terrible. You have two terrible. The first is you follow me when you tell me not. When I tell you not to follow me. The second is you constantly speak over me, and these are both unforgivable. Clementine, maybe this will make you feel better. All of my children, as you call them, they're my children in spirit, I suppose, like all students of this sword school. All of them are well used to tongue lashings. I've tried insulting them. I've tried telling them that they're useless. It seems to have no effect. And so I think that perhaps if they are embarrassed in some other way, perhaps if you made no effort whatsoever and nevertheless showed them that you were superior to them, that might cow them into submission a little bit.
He raises his hand, waiting for permission to be able to speak. This is a very important lesson, auntie, but perhaps it can wait until we are dealt with this cop situation.
I am dealing with that situation only. And
Okay.
I think she's realized that what's happened to her is what always happens when she talks to Vitrohi, which is you get caught in like the things that he's saying and you're not paying attention to the things that he's doing. So she's gonna be like, so I have given you my instructions. You want to listen to them, you can. You don't want to, I'll be disappointed. And she's gonna leave because there is a person who can help us with matters of the law, and it is very important we get to this person as soon as possible.
Okay, so I guess maybe the next scene is Saida handling this situation then?
Could be, but what I'm going to do...
Yeah, I was going to say...
let's stay in this moment.
Yeah. I'm leaving the scene, but the scene can continue. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Other people can do other things. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stand in front of the sword school with my most charming smile, and I've also sent word for the most eloquent man in the Ketrisi community to come in and bail us out.
So you and Al-Kader are going to talk your way out of this, is it? Okay.
If he comes, it's entirely possible that he, being a canny man, will spill blood in the water and refuse to come. But that's another thing.
I don't think Al-Qadr is super fond of confronting the law.
Yeah.
He tends to sidestep it.
What
So
a surprise! Yeah.
Can I make a roll to get him to come?
absolutely, it's with risk though, because
Yeah.
Al-Qadr is a slippery man.
Mhm.
Like,
I will say.
he likes you, but
You know the funniest thing that could happen? I will ask Mushfiq Bhai to go get Al-Qadr on
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your plan exactly with Al-Qadr?
Oh, the cops are coming
He's
here.
He's a nice man. He'll help us.
Yeah, it's the thing. The cops are coming here. We are a public body. It's not a hidden lair or anything. They know where we are. There's too many people here. So I'm going, as the most charming person, I'm going to stand in front and talk them out of it, or waste time, whatever. And who better to help with that than Al-Qadr and Khatab?
Yes.
so
who
you
better?
ask Mushfiq to fetch him.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, Mushfiq won't say no because he hasn't really had any one-on-one time with Al-Qadr and Khatam.
Okay.
And that
Then-
would be nice, huh?
Yes. Okay. In that case, Mushfiq, it is an action roll to find him. I think
Okay.
this is
Does this
something. Yep.
anything I do here, will that count as a downtime action for me as well? I guess so,
And
right?
no, this has risk involved unless you wanna make some downtime action to combine with it. Like, that's possible.
Well, I did have something in mind to prepare for the war, but we can deal with that later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do it later.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let's just all right. Action roll to look for him. So I don't know. I guess
Let's
we can
call
just-
it risky standard. You can find him, but there is risk involved, and the risk
And
is
most-
mostly Al-Qadr getting the upper hand on you.
And Moss and Clem can decide if they're helping with any of this or doing their own thing.
I have an idea to help with you standing in front of the
Okay.
school and dissuading the cops, but we can have it wait until afterwards.
Excellent.
Yeah, I think Clementine's exploring this forge, this old forge.
Yeah.
What she's more interested in. Yeah.
All right.
Mhm.
So okay, looking for Al-Qadr and Khatam. So I think in the fiction I will not consort because I'll get back to him. I'm just gonna survey his.
Okay, you're just gonna like look around.
Just look
where
around
he generally is.
for
and-
Al-Qadr looking people.
Yes.
Okay, looking
There's-
motherfucker.
Okay.
And no, and this is not a joke because there's only one Al-Qadr looking person. No one else looks like
Yes.
him
Okay.
in
Take
this neighborhood.
an assist from me
Yeah.
because I have
Okay.
brother. I am with you. I can assist you for free. And of course, I tell you where you can probably find him, which is Tum Dorji's tailoring house.
Excellent.
See, it sounds like a joke
Okay.
at first, but it all makes sense.
Okay. You're gonna
And I
look
have
for
found him because it's a 6.
Yeah,
Okay.
in fact, he was at Tum Dorji's tailor house. He was the assistant
Excellent.
that helped him.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so there is no consequence for you here. You just find him, and I think the way I'm going to frame this is, so this is not a consequence of this role, but there's actually more bad shit going on with Tum Dorji. So this is perfect. So you're going to learn about that now. But the reason it's a 6 is that Al-Qadr is also busy with it.
Okay.
So Al-Qadr is not there just shopping around. He is in fact already talking with some bureaucrat that is outside, and he's like mediating between Tum Dorji and someone from the bureaucracy. Some like gangly looking. It's not Hardil Subramanian this time because we've
Thank
seen this lawyer a lot. It's some other gangly lawyer. You probably don't know who it is even.
Yeah.
A very grey man in very grey clothes is laying out papers in front of him, and Al-Qadr goes like, brother, friend, this is all a lot of paperwork. We will need some time to I'm not your brother, Kethrisi, the bureaucrat says, and then he just pours more papers into Al-Qadr's arms, and he looks slightly like, but I've never heard of these laws. This is preposterous. Mushfiq, tell this man this is outrageous. As for Tum Dorji, he just eyes it all skeptically and looks very upset.
Okay.
Very
Mushfiq.
upset, but he also looks very good.
Yes, he also looks very stylish.
Mushfiq will raise an eyebrow and maybe just ask, and is it?
Yeah, who are you asking, Al-Qadr or
Yeah,
the
well,
bureaucrat?
I'll just say, this is outrageous, and I'll go, well, is it?
Well, I don't know yet. I haven't had time to read all these documents, but honestly, this is ridiculous. No one can own a color. He spits back at the
Oh.
bureaucrat. And
Wait a second, is the Vanta Black demon reappearing? Is that what's happening?
he
Oh,
spits
man.
it back in the bureaucrat's face, and the bureaucrat goes, "Yes, they can. Iruvian shadow silk is restricted, the very blackest of black."
I hate you and I love you in the same breath, Prince.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
Very
established that Iruvian shadow silk is heavily restricted, and
That's true. Yeah.
yeah, and it is the blackest
Yeah.
of black, so it makes sense.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
Tumdurji looks professionally offended, and he says, "You have no proof I've got shadow silk?" "No, that's precisely why we're carrying out this investigation, and in the meantime, we will need to, I'm afraid, seize all of your assets."
Oops.
Mushfiq is aware of
Uh-huh.
this. Sorry, that Iruvian shadow silk is the blackest black.
I think so. It's pretty famous, right? The Iruvian shadow
Right,
silk
right,
is what you
okay. In
make
that
the
case-
shadow cloaks out of. The
Okay.
invisibility cloaks, basically. And yeah,
Mhm.
it's
All right,
it's
okay.
very rare. Yep.
With the intention of just getting Al-Qadr out of here and not having to deal with this anymore, I think Mushfiq just goes up to the okay, so it goes up to the bureaucrat again and goes like, do you have a sample of this shadow silk?
Of course not. He says, I told you it's restricted. I don't have the permits to carry it around.
I mean, I'm looking at all the black hair, and well, if anything, these are blacker than shadow silk.
Oh,
No, I think you're gonna need to come back here with the expert appraiser.
Mm-hmm. Let's not complicate this with more roles. The bureaucrat nods and goes like, "Expert appraiser."
Yeah,
Very
I mean,
good.
look at the shit. This is like,
Mhm.
I mean, it's so black you can barely even tell that it's there. It's just like staring into the void.
Very well. I will have one of Anish's Anraki's experts come here personally. He says,
I'm
and
sorry,
he turns
it's so
around.
funny to me. That's really... Yes. Oh, it's too fucking good.
Yes.
Indians should
So-
stop doing dumb shit. I
No.
strongly held opinion.
I mean, what's happening here is that Tumdurji is being hit with sumptuary laws also because someone has decided to fuck with your crew. This is war.
Yep.
This is
Yep.
there. Yep. And
Yeah.
so poor Tumdurji is going to have all of his assets seized unless you do something about it. So that they
I
can
guess.
search them for Shadow Silk.
Well, I mean, but this guy's gone now, right? Like we can deal with this
Yeah,
later.
he's going to go fetch an
Yeah.
expert and come back another day and
Yeah.
so on and so forth. So you've delayed it slightly, but they're going to come back with a serious warrant.
All right. Okay, I grab Al-Qadr on the shoulder and I just say, "All right, let's go."
All right. Thank you for dealing with that. Out of sight, out of mind, he says with a big smile. Well, that's all
Excellent.
sorted then.
Yeah.
All right. What I would like to do, and I not confront Al-Qadr just yet, but since we're walking back to the hideout, maybe just talk with him a little bit. Try to get a feel for him. Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's. I think I look at all the paperwork he's got and goes, lots of paperwork there, Mr. Al-Qadr. You deal with a lot of
Yes.
paperwork, huh?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
a lot to keep track of when you're trying to get. Frankly, our people back home didn't have to deal with this, but then our people back home were, not gentlemen. And this is the sort of thing that gentlemen do. They sign documents and wear important vests.
Of course. It's Were you dissatisfied with life back in Ketris? They started with there. After all, we weren't gentlemen there, and you are one here.
Well, I ill like to talk of the old country, but well, things were not. I suppose back in the day, they were good when our lands were kept by the gentlemen and they respected us. When traditions were kept too, when people respected wise saws and elders of the community. But that all changed, my friend. That all changed with the arrival of the electroplasm and with the Uduashan yoke on the Kethrisi neck, he says. And for once, he's actually being serious, I think. Al-Qadr actually cares about Kethris. He's not very good at being a community leader, but he does.
It's interesting you should say that, the Udwashan Yokon Ketris, because, the way I remember it, we'd thrown that yoke off until suddenly men of your stature started to bicker and fight amongst themselves for the future.
Yeah, he gets a dark look in his eyes, and if you want to make a roll for some sort of project with him here, you can. I'm leaving it open. If not, it's fine.
Yes, I think I do. I want to know what he was up to during the rebellion, because I've been.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Mm.
Okay, so let's treat this as a downtime action. Is this? Yeah. You haven't finished Where's My Ustad? Or yeah, you did. You paid to finish
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah, I did. Yes.
Yeah.
I
Dude,
know
where's
it
my
is.
stud?
Yes.
Yes. So you have this clue of Gurban, the camel, and once you go there, you'll figure it out. But I think we can start a new project called Figuring Out Alkader, which is 4 ticks. So.
All right. 4 ticks.
If you're okay with it.
Yeah.
And then,
yeah, I mean, I've been hinting that there's more to it than meets the eye than the rebellion, and this is me figuring out what that is by playing.
Exactly. It's just a 4 clock because it's a relatively short, narrative clock, but I think it has enough weight that it's more of a project than just one conversation. So unless you roll a crit, you could roll a crit. But 4 o'clock to figure him out and then make an action. And this is your second downtime action, I suppose.
Yeah. All right. I will. This is concerted, I suppose.
Yep. And I think you have a +1 because Alkader is a crew contact, so I'm fine with giving you a +1.
He's our favorite contact, right?
Yeah.
Oh. All right.
We all love him. Every last one of us.
Yep.
And can I push myself as well? I mean, I suddenly have a lot of stress to spare.
You are allowed to if you want.
Why not? Let's see it.
This is fine.
Ooh, okay. Even then, it's a 2, a 1, and a 2.
Yeah. So what happens here is that you take a tick to this clock still, and Alkader gets a somewhat dark look in his eyes, and for a moment, some sort of genuine trauma flashes over him. And he says, like I said, I don't much wish to speak of it. It's true as you say. Brother turned against brother, father against son. It was a terrible time. A lot of betrayals, and something we must make absolutely sure never happens again. Never again, I say. And then he's very smoothly going to transition into talking about how all of these horrors and atrocities must never happen again, without specifying exactly what sort of horrors or atrocities he has seen. Or indeed if he had any part in them.
No.
And I think, just to establish a mechanical consequence of finishing this clock, if you do figure Alkader out, it will change the nature of this contact somewhat. Like, you will learn about his past, whatever it is, and it will, quote unquote, improve the contact.
All right. Since it's a crew contact, everyone on board with that?
I have never been on board with anything more in my entire life.
Well, thank you. That's good to hear.
Yes. So the one thing you learn is that Alkader has indeed seen some shit for real, and he does not want to talk about it. That's basically the.
Aadiyat, I told you, brother, I am with you.
Yep. So he will be taken back to Bidruhi. I guess let's see Saida's scene first, and then we'll go back to the scene with everyone. Juggling spotlight a little bit here, but I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
So Said is for once not being followed, and I'm guessing you're going to see Rohini?
Yeah, absolutely. And the way that I think I'm doing this is because we've established that it's mostly dead drops. No, it's only dead drops now. Yeah. Because Mr. Rohini doesn't really trust. With good reason. I think what I'm going to, in fact, do is find the dead drop, and I'm going to. And this is one of the reasons I really didn't want to be followed this time, is I didn't want even this to be burnt again, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to basically just put a letter or whatever it is in the dead drop with just one line, and the single line is going to say, urgent need to speak about the Fursan. Because I don't think that, I know Mushfiq thought it was the falling star, but I don't necessarily know that that's true. So I don't want to like rush too quickly into that. So
Yeah.
instead, I'm just going to say the Futsana are doing some shit, and I need like as soon as possible, right?
Okay, yeah. So
Um,
you're just leaving a message for Rohini.
Yeah,
Yeah, fair enough.
Because-
I think what this
yeah.
counts as is a reduce heat action, if you want to make it a downtime action.
Oh, interesting. Sure. I
Uh,
also wanted it to be gather info for the next score or for the war.
Okay, you know what? We can treat it as both. Why not?
Okay.
It's both a gather
sure.
info and a reduce heat with one roll.
Mhm.
It's a bit unorthodox,
Yeah.
but gather info is not normally a downtime action, so I think it makes sense. It's
Yeah,
like,
makes sense.
if this goes well, you get less heat because Rohin is on your side, but that
Mhm.
also means you get more information. So
Makes sense. Okay. This seems like a consort. I
Yep.
can't imagine what else it would be.
Mhm.
Which is so I'll roll one die because Rohini will give me a die, and I'm at 0 consort otherwise.
okay, yeah, there we go.
Fortune roll standard 1 die. So 3.
So 1 heat reduced. If you don't have any, yeah, and you also get some information. And I suppose the answer will come to this dead drop relatively quickly. So you won't get this information right now, but just since we did the roll, what do you want to ask, and what sort of information do you want?
I think what I want to, and again, this might be the thing that this reminds me of, and like this doesn't necessarily need to like go into podcast or whatever. But a friend of mine got in trouble with the wife of the chief minister of the state of Karnataka over some it was some business thing, right? Like, and so they got sued, and there was a lot of effort by various people to try and get to them, just ask a friend of a friend and so on to be like, what the hell is going on? And at some point, my dad, who'd asked someone who asked someone, just got the message back saying, "You're not going to get them to drop this." And it was a very stern, stop asking kind of message.
Yep.
Right. And I feel like maybe that's what's happening here, which is I want to know whether I can do anything. And it's possible Mr. Rohini in this case is just going to be like, you're not going to be able to do anything here.
Yeah. So the information you get back here, I think, is information that's quite bad for you. But I think it makes sense. And it's simply that, you have a wanted level. You're not really getting rid of that without, doing a score, basically. I think that's the information you get back. It's not impossible to get rid of wanted levels in Blades, right? But this one has now become extra sticky, and it's stuck to Mushfik. And it's until you guys get rid of this wanted level, the Furusan are going to try to arrest Mushfik on sight. They won't maybe necessarily actively hunt for him, but he'll be a wanted man. He'll be on the posters. It's...
I guess the other thing that I want to know, if it's possible to know, is it the falling star that are behind it?
Yes.
Is that why?
I think that you can just find out, and that much will be obvious.
Yeah. So I think I dropped this letter, and whatever I've written in there, it's if possible, an answer within 6 hours. I'm going to go off. I'm going to come back, and I'm going to find this. And so when I come back to the school, I'm going to be in a really rotten mood.
Yes, but it's taking a while to get back to the school, and I am afraid that things are only going to get worse for Bidruhi, Moss, and Clem. So we're cutting back to them now, and they are all on the scene, but I guess Bidruhi is the person up front. Oh yeah, and Mushfik actually as Alkadir is coming back. But I think what is happening now... I think what's interesting is if what is happening now happens a little bit before Alkadir and Mushfik show up. But if you have another idea, Mushfik, it's fine.
Oh no, I was gonna say that if Mushfik's coming back, so in all of this, Mushfik hasn't actually met Clem yet.
Yeah,
No.
It's true.
Yeah, I think Mushfik comes back with this can happen later. You can do what you wanted to do before Mushfik and Alkadir get there.
Yeah, but Mushfik will come back with Alkadir and meet Clem. Excellent. And so Bidruhi is, as I understand the situation, Bidruhi is up front. Moss is watching Bidruhi, and Clem is on the grounds. Yeah?
I think Moss will have also tried to contact someone.
Okay, excellent. Is this a downtime action?
Yes, it can be. I think who she wants. So who I have in my friends list as my friend is Giscard, a very bribable silver nail. At the time when I wrote that, the idea was for that to be someone who could be bribed to deal with stuff Well, with exactly this sort of situation, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not entirely sure if I misunderstood the background of, because we were still working it out at that time as well, I think. If it makes sense for Silvernail to intervene in this situation now in this district.
I think it sort of can. They are like a foreign force, but they can absolutely, if nothing else, they can try to like have this become a diplomatic matter somehow. I think that's the angle they can take. They can say that somehow this concerns Severos or the Empire or something, and they can complicate it in that way.
Sounds good. That's, I think, the most interesting way to do it.
So, do you want to frame this as a reduce heat or something else? Because I think reducing heat is normally the way you get the law off your back, right? But you can frame it some other way if you want.
I'm expecting for people to come to the school now that Bidroy is also waiting for, and I want the silver nails to be in the scene.
Okay, excellent. Then let's frame it as an acquire asset. I think this is the logical way to frame it.
That seems better.
So it's like, how useful is the silver name? And since this is the first time we've seen Giscard, I guess we'll also find out how useful Giscard is in general with this role. So normally this is rolled with tier, but I'm open to substituting an action if you think it makes more sense. But you have a +1 die for your contact.
Yeah, cool beans. Let me just see. No, I think tier sticking with the rule is the best in this case.
So tier +1, so 2 dice.
Yes. And that's a 2 and a 1.
Okay, so Giscard is tier 0 in this situation. You can, if you want, spend coin to up this. But
I think I will actually. Because I'm bribing him, right?
Yeah.
And I'm also already spending, I think, a coin to do a downtime action.
No, this is your second downtime action. So.
Yeah, and we have War Dog, so we can do that.
Yeah. Yeah, but you can still spend a coin to get Giscard up to tier 1. That's fine.
And I at least am okay with you taking a coin out of the vault to up it at least to tier 2, because the Fursan are like stressful, and I don't mind driving this man a load.
Okay.
If it would help us.
A second coin spent from the vault to make him tier 2 seems entirely fair.
Yes, great.
Cool. So Giscard will show up and be somewhat useful. And I think how I will frame this scene with Bidrohi is that a person is going to show up, and then PCs, NPCs can introduce themselves into the scene. But I think it's interesting if this happens to Bidrohi primarily. And so a Fursan is indeed going to approach. And the Fursan are normally dressed in like these kind of impressive robes. I forget if we've established what color they wear. We have not, I take it.
Oh, interesting. I think so long as it's not khaki, I'm fine with it.
No, it was khaki.
Okay.
I remember. It was khaki.
Okay.
Ourselves?
Yes.
Oh man,
so,
maybe I can retroactively go back into the end of season 1 and say, well, there was a mass uniform change just as Lord Scarlet came into town. Can I do that?
Okay.
Oh,
very well.
Sorry, please go on.
So this khaki robed person approaches, and it's a Fursan that you don't recognize, and they move kind of with a stilted motion almost. Comes up to the house and seems a little bit ill or something, a little bit like rickety. And this person pulls up and looks, honestly like sick or afraid or something, and looks at you and says, "You're Bidrohi?"
Yes. And you are a member of the Fursan. Hello, sir. Bidrohi says, extremely nervous.
Yes. And then he convulses and looks suddenly a lot thicker, and some sort of black mass wells up from under his collar. And you recognize it. You recognize it because it's something you got very familiar with when you were last treated medically. It's leeches.
Oh
they
my God.
Crawl up over the collar, like swarm over the face of the man, and he looks absolutely horrified as the leeches attach to his temple, and then just as one bites in next to his eye at his temple, he calms down and he blinks. And the entanglement you rolled last session was demonic notice.
Oh shit!
I'm going to I'm going to roll resolve.
Yep, you are coming
Do
face
not
to face
freak
with the
out.
supernatural. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
6 and a 6. You lose
Okay.
suspense.
Fixes.
Main character energy.
Yeah, apparently Vidrohi is just so calm about all of this.
I'm like, yes. Okay. Mofis bhai, this man is feeling a little under the weather, so the tea that you're making him, please put lots of ginger in it, okay? And then I'm going to kind of like subtly close the door behind us so that like no one else has to see this bullshit.
Yeah. And the man smiles completely without his eyes, but his mouth draws up into a wide, almost rictus grin, and his voice changes, and he says, "Thank you, Master Bidrohi. Thank you. Very kind. We appreciate the tea. But we have drunk from you already. So much hospitality you've shown."
Mm-hmm. I put my hand over my heart and I give a deep bow because we live in Uduasha. This does happen.
Yeah. But it's no less terrifying. These things are
fucked up,
powerful.
man.
Yeah.
No, by which I mean I know the protocol. So I put my hand over my heart and I give a bow and I say, "You have the advantage of me, sir. And who do I have the deepest honor of addressing?" I say, looking at the ground.
Oh, no. I am most honored, Master Bidrohi. I am not important, just a little scab of Ixis, not worthy to be called the blood. Call me pus of Ixis, scab of Ixis, dirt under Ixis's feet. Low.
Okay, pus of Ixis, sir, scab of Ixis, sir, dirt under Ixis's feet, sir. What may we do for you?
He slowly sinks down and sits, and there's an odd squelching sound as if leeches are being crushed as he does it. And he says, "We have heard of your ascension, your claim to noble blood. Now we've tasted it. It's peasant. But peasant blood can be of much use too, yes. Ixis wonders, humbly, if Rising Moon Sword School needs some assistance, yes, some help to make this Fursan problem go away." And there is another wide rictus grin, while the eyes look at you, and now there's fear in the Fursan's eyes as this is happening.
This is above my pay grade.
Yes,
it's
which is why it's targeting
everybody.
By which I mean, no one's paying me.
Yeah.
And I think there's a small knock at the door, and I just kind of reach, and I get the tea, and I give Mofis Bhai. So I mean, I keep my turning away from like the demon. I kind of give Mofis Bhai a look at like, don't come in here. Don't look at this. For your own good. And then I kind of try to turn back, and I give a smile and say, "Well, this is a truly stupendous honor to be patronized by Lord Ixis himself," I say. And even though I'm putting on the charm, it's clear that I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Ixis, demons, that happens.
Yeah.
But Ixis, us.
Yeah. Well, as it says, it's a dirt under Ixis's feet. What exactly that means is unclear.
But still, it's as we said, above our pay grade.
Yes, and I think Moss, you usually keep track of things. Do you think you're seeing this?
So, just for my imagination, are we moving? Did this conversation moved into a room? Because I heard about a walk-in door.
Pedro pulled this person inside. Yeah.
No, not. We're still outside. I closed the door of the temple.
Okay.
What I meant. Yeah.
Okay, so you're having
the door of the what?
outside.
We closed the door of the temple.
Not the temple, the training ground. The temple was. Yeah.
So it's still outside. Yeah, you're sitting outside, you're having tea. This is still kind of subtle, right? Because the Fursan wear like headpieces and stuff. So if you're not looking at this person from the front, you probably can't tell other than that they have like some black goop on their neck, whatever. So yeah, but the question is
dark.
I
Yeah,
think
do you think
actually,
you're returning this?
I think Moss is here, and of course, when the Forsan arrives, she's going to be paying attention. I don't know if she. I think she noticed sickness of some kind. I don't think she immediately notices the leeches.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But she'll also want to approach and just be like.
Yeah.
She'll want to be like back up to Bedrohi.
Yeah. So I think as you approach, the like head turns towards you, and you also see this extremely fucked up sight of this man who's like smiling pleasantly while his eyes are full of fear, and the leeches hanging from his temple.
Mhm.
And yeah, you become aware of this is fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
And you're still keeping your distance. You don't think you have to roll resolve unless you like want to approach and stuff.
Actually, I want to be in this conversation, so I'm going to roll resolve.
Very well.
To try and approach. And that is a 4 and a 5, so do take a stress.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a problem here, sir?
No, mere humble exchange, humble offer of help. I ask you too. Would you like the Fursan to go away?
Sir is an emissary of Lord Ixis, I whisper.
A great honor. And she kind of like pats herself, not knowing what to do with her hands. And Sir is offering to deal with the fact that the Fursan are after us.
Yes. A little exchange between friends. Friendship, yes. We want friendship, nothing more. Ah, but we cannot trust you. We have not tasted you.
But, sir, you have said that you have tasted of my blood, and she is of my blood. She's my sister.
Oh, this humble pus of Ixis, this dirt under Ixis's feet is so sorry. We apologize most humbly, most profoundly. Yes, we trust you then.
And this is trust that I cannot betray, or and an offer that I could not rudely turn away. But I'm just wondering where from comes this this sudden interest, sir.
Yeah, there is like a rattling laugh, accompanied by a whimper by the actual Fursan being possessed, and then it says, "It is an offer from the mangoes. The old woman will know."
Oh my god! I can't believe I'm not here, and I'm not going to be here for another 5 hours. By the time I come back, all of this is going to be over.
Okay. So
Do
Saida
I
is
know
a
what
very
that means?
exactly.
Yeah.
See, Emma doesn't know what that means.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
also, yeah.
Yes. Clarifying out of character, Saida had a conversation with Salman that something, like all of her magic has affected something in Udwasha, and it's very subtle. And the way Salman noticed it was the flavor of the mangoes has very slightly changed. So this is the out of character thing that Ixis has also picked up on. And I think this is sort of what was tied to the demonic notice.
Salty over there going, what?
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about
Well,
it.
I mean, Emma was having the same
I'm having a
reaction.
great time.
Yeah. Yes.
Don't worry about
Yeah.
it. But
Uh-huh.
my
So-
question, also out of character,
Mhm.
and sorry to interrupt, Emma, but I think it's an important one,
No worries.
which is that Saida obviously is a very reticent person, but I remember you going absolutely apeshit over these mangoes.
Yes.
Would you have come back to us and like started blabbing about mangoes?
No, but I think I would have come back and said, "Children, I ate a mango today that..."
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you know about mangoes anyway? Like, I would have
Okay.
mentioned it to you.
Yeah, that's what I
Yeah.
meant.
Which for Sakida is, absolutely going apeshit. You're not wrong.
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. Like, would I be able to
Mhm.
connect you with mangoes in any way?
Yes.
So
Yeah,
I think I
you
can.
would. Mhm.
Emma, you were asking something?
Yeah, no, I was just asking, like, so Zaida's magic has permeated the mangoes, and that's what's causing this notice.
Yeah. The demon nods and says, "You catch on quick."
Oh, sorry, no, that wasn't what
Yeah.
I was saying.
Okay,
I was
okay.
just out of character confirming it with
Yeah.
you.
Okay, yes, I see. You were confirmed. Yes, that is indeed what happened.
Okay, cool.
It wasn't an unreasonable thing to say out of character or in character because you know Saida has magic. But yes, that is what's happening.
I think it would
but
be
okay.
an unflavorful thing to say in character, and
Yes.
I would never.
Fair.
Mhm.
So it was not said in character. Sorry about that.
Okay.
But yes.
Then I think Bidro is going to give a sort of like a very unnatural laugh as they're like, ha ha ha, what the fuck? But he doesn't say what the fuck. He says, yes, Saida auntie is truly a connoisseur of the mangoes, huh? Okay, we shall pass on that message. But I am assuming his lordship is very inclined to having an answer to his offer of support immediately.
This humble person is in no hurry and would not want to impose, but not to put too fine a point on it, law enforcement are on their way, and if you want them dealt with, we can deal with them now.
Oh man, they've really picked the moment, huh? They've just gone, lol, we're gonna turn up just before the cops.
You rolled demonic notice, and it's a fucking demon.
Yeah.
It's what they do.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah. This is what we deserve. Yeah.
Okay, so again, out of character. So Moss obviously is the much more occult member of the two. So normally Bidrohi would absolutely defer to Moss. Also, she's his big sister. But I think Bidrohi thinks that Moss is not as aware of the power plays in Uduasha as much as he is.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he is going to try to take point here, and you can totally interrupt him. I'm just clarifying that there's a reason I'm about to say what he's about to say.
All right.
Which is that, and in fact, I'll tell you what, you can see that he's going to say it, so you can stop it happening before it happens if you want to. He is going to acquiesce because Lord Ixis's eye is on us, and there's nothing we can do about that. Like, if one of the princes has his eye on you, then you fold.
Yeah, that's Moss's instinct as well, from what she knows.
Yeah. I think Bidrohi kind of like, in fact, it's like super uncharacteristic of him. He kind of bows in obeisance, and he says, "We of course do not wish to keep his lordship waiting, and the offer is of stupendous generosity, and we would be deeply honored. We just humbly, if I may ask, you mentioned an exchange, but what can we offer Lord Ixis?"
So forward. No, we have greatly admired your skill at sword art. And on occasion, this humble person, not Lord Ixis himself, we must be very clear, this humble person has need of people to be killed in riots, in uprising, in ethnic, sectarian violence, randomly, purely bad luck. Yeah, he's trying to hire you as assassins in a very blunt way.
Bidrohi's face is on the ground, right, as he's bowing. So hopefully, I mean, I have no idea how this. I mean, as far as I can tell, as for all I know, the demon can see in ways that don't involve eyes, right? He's kind of like, well, fuck you, boss. But he's going to be like, of course.
I mean, this is absolutely an insult. This is
of course. If yes, of course we are deeply humbled to have this assistance, and I'm going to obviously try to fuck this thing over as soon as I can. But
But for now, you are taking the devil's bargain?
Well, Bidrohi would still, but again, someone else can do something about this.
Yes, let's give
No, I
everyone else
think-
an opportunity. Except
I mean,
Saida,
I think-
because fuck you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And to be clear, I think it's much more interesting if Saida comes back and goes, "You did what?" than
Mhm.
for this to not
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
And in character, this seems like, yes, if the Secretary of State sends like a Secret Service agent to your house and goes, "Hey, do you want the cops to stop bothering you? Also, I have a very big gun." You'll be like, "Yes, please have to stop
Yeah.
the cops stop bothering me," right? So
Yep. Well, maybe you can wiggle out of it. The demons in Uduasha are not all powerful, but they are powerful. So
yeah.
I mean, the biggest thing here is that this bus has also gone to a little bit of extra wiggle room to say that this isn't coming directly from Lord Ixis. But he also said it is coming directly from Lord Ixis. So, I mean, it's also a scion of Ixis. So everything it says is bullshit in some way.
yes.
So if we can figure out that if we can figure out some way of wiggling out of this and fucking this demon over without insulting Lord Ixis, then we should take that. But I don't think that's something that Bidre can work on at the moment.
Yep. Absolutely. So I guess the consensus is we are taking this devil's bargain.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Yep. So you still might have to deal with the Fursan, but this particular poor Fursan nods, and there is another smile accompanied by those fearful eyes, and then it rises, like the body stiffly rises, and says, "Yes, very good. This humble person is honored to be of some little service to the Rising Moon Sword School. We admire your works. Oh, and one more thing," it says, turning back. And it says, if you want plausible deniability, if you want matters' eyes turned away from Ketris, the Severosi woman is useful.
Oh man, just get them to turn on each other, huh?
Yes. And then it will.
Mhm.
And then I think it will turn and stiffly walk out the door.
Okay, good, because Bidre would have been perfectly willing to lie in front of its face to keep it happy, but since he doesn't
Yes.
have to, that's much better. That's much less
Yes.
psychic damage.
Yeah, no, it's just giving you a helpful tip.
I think Bidre is going to wait for it to go,
Mhm.
and then is going to go and hug his sister.
Oh, cute.
I did not enjoy that. That was
no.
not great.
That was, yeah. Are you okay? Do you want to sit for a sec?
I would very much like to sit. I am not okay. I am trying very hard not to scream out loud. Yes. Yes, this is not good.
Okay. No. No, we've from one dangerous notice to another. But we've wiggled our ways out of that before.
Yes. I hate to do this, but I'm going to ask you to do this. I stand by the decision, and of course we will not obviously do what this fucking horrible creature wants. But you understand, right? Do you understand that it was the only way?
I understand it was the only way. Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I don't want to explain that to Auntie. And if Auntie comes
do
back
it.
and starts yelling at me, yes, please. If
Yes.
Auntie comes back and starts yelling about things, I will get very angry and say something that will not be nice. So I'm going to go
I
for a
know.
walk.
Okay.
Thank you very
Take
much.
care. Take care.
Yes. Also, the Severosi woman, Clem. I have no idea if she heard any of that, but well, we will. She's one of us now, as far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned.
Is that who it meant?
Are there other Severosi women? I mean, I have no idea who you've been hanging out with at night.
No, I suppose not.
There's actually
That's
only
Lothar.
one Severosi woman in all of the Shazadars.
Just the one.
Only
So
one of them is
it's
the main
actually-
character.
Yes.
Yeah.
Severos is actually a collective delusion.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And speaking of, I think it's good to cut back to Mushfik and Alkader running into Clem. I think that's the perfect way to approach what's happening on the other side.
So,
Mushfik returns with Alkader. Alkader, by the way, kept all of this paperwork about like laws about silk and shit, so he's still like fumbling through those.
yeah, I mean, I imagine he's shuffling through those. Mushfik is, casually strolling next to him. And so what does Mushfik see when he comes up to the training yard?
I'm imagining this as you are approaching, for whatever reason, from the back, right? Like the back entrance was more convenient. So you don't see what's going on at the front, but you do see Clem poking around the smithy.
Oh
like
yeah,
the area.
100%. Just being very, very nosy.
Yeah, and Mushfik comes in, he just calls out loudly, like, yeah, got him, and then he notices Clem and goes, who the fuck are you?
Who the fuck are you?
What do you mean, who the fuck am I? This is my place.
Friends, this is Sherry Katam.
Alkader says as if that explains anything. I mean,
I think, and Mushfik turns around, then waggles a finger, and Alkader says, no, don't you start.
Now, see, this would explain everything because we had a long walk to the temple from the sword emporium, the blacksmith's forge, right?
Yes.
During which, and you think I haven't talked about Mushfik Bhai all along the way? Of course I have.
So the legend of Sherry Katam has been spread to Clem already, I see. Okay, tell us what Clem has heard of the legend of Sherry Katam. You don't have to do it in character, just the bullet points.
Sexiest motherfucker this side of in the world, because I don't know. I mean, on all sides, on all the sides.
Very good at geography.
Yes.
On all the sides. See, it's fine because you can orient yourself because he stands like a colossus above the world. Okay, I suspect he is the immortal emperor in disguise.
Okay, so Sherry Katam is the coolest fucking guy ever, and Alkader has just pointed out that this is him.
Yeah.
What's your reaction?
Oh,
So,
I thought he would have been taller, but
maybe to give you some to give Clem some context, like I think Mushfik has pretty bad posture, like a very disinterested face. He looks like someone who woke up in a dumpster after. So
yeah.
So this is him.
Immortal emperor in deep cover. Okay.
deep depression.
Yeah. Yes. And so Clem says, "I thought you'd be taller."
I thought I'd be taller too. Didn't get
Come
much
here.
calcium growing up.
You've got grime on your face just there. Come here. Let me just get that for you. I've heard a lot.
What?
Friends, let me handle the introductions. This is the Silver Nail Giscard. Alkader says very confidently. Because see, Giscard is a Severosi person he knows.
All right, Ben Mushfik goes, it's Carl. Nice to meet you.
Oh, no.
I think you'd better correct him.
And wait, what's that genuine tenderness and care for Mushfik over there?
Yeah, I think I've heard a lot about you. Very
Wow,
impressive.
I don't.
That's your romantic arc for Sherry Katam is to end up with Omid, okay?
No, I mean I don't think it's romantic. I think it's just surprised because in this crew he's got Vidrohi, which is I don't even know how to explain that. Whatever is going on there. Saida, who's a constantly angry school teacher, right? And I don't think he's even got much of a relationship with Moss. So out of nowhere, someone's genuinely "Oh, are you, let me take care of that." I think that he's "Oh, someone does care."
It's nice to meet you. I'm Clem.
Oh, I'm sorry. I just have this tearing up a little bit. I don't know why. Yeah. Hi. What freak?
I thought your name was Cherry. I'm sorry.
That's just some something people called me from a long time ago.
Yeah. Okay, I understand. But pleasure, always.
So, Clem Giscarl, is that it?
Good Lord, no.
Mhm.
Not Silver Nail.
I think Professor's gonna.
Alcadar inspects his
What?
paperwork.
Mhm.
Just I'm not hearing this.
All right.
I mean, not all Severossi are the same person.
Oh no, I'm not. I didn't say that. No, I'm not.
No,
I'm
no,
not.
no.
No,
I'm definitely not
lots of-
Silver Nail. Definitely not Silver Nail.
No, I've got lots of
nothing
Severus
to do with the
friends.
war at all. Nothing
Yeah.
to do with the war at all.
Yeah, no, I've got. Like I said, I've got. I didn't say all Severus are iron.
Oh
Like
no,
Silver Nail.
that's fun.
Yeah.
Okay,
That
I
was
changed my
him.
mind. This is Sherikatam's new romantic arc, okay?
Yeah.
They're made for each other.
But yes, inside, shall we? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you fight with? I
Uh,
assume you fight.
Yeah, anything, I guess. Didn't have much of a say in, what kind of weapons you were getting, when you're just hiding in trenches and all that, Yeah.
Interesting. Kind of. I feel like there's the kind of like bro-y, like just guy. Just the like kind of puffed out chest vibes. Like, oh yes, totally. The awkward first introduction going on here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. I look forward to watching you fight. I've had the pleasure of sparring with your brother Bidri and Saida. It was very good.
Is pleasure the word you'd use?
Oh yes.
Oh well, actually, yeah. You had a great time. I guess. I mean, Mushu doesn't know, but yeah. Well, yeah. In that case, I'm sure you'll have a wonderful time the rest of your time with this crew. Because if you can put up with those two, you can put up with anything.
Alcadar is very awkward in the background. I think he has completely lost control of this situation.
All right, I think we can call it here, right? We can go
Yes.
in and find out. Yeah.
Yeah. So you go in, and I think. So who has taken their downtime actions at this point? Just to clarify it.
I have.
I want to take at least one more because now I'm at 6 stress.
Yeah. Just checking who has.
I have two
taken
left. I've taken one. I have taken two because I have calculating.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah, but
So
we can
Bidri
just
has-
breeze through that. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Bidri has 2 left. Just checking in.
Yeah.
Here.
I'm just going to spend. The crew's okay. I think it makes sense for me to spend a rep because I think the way that I am, I basically like in that 6 hours where I was waiting for the letter, I went fishing.
Okay.
And I think
you're
some
just
people have seen me
indulging your life.
fishing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, while there's been some incredible shit going on back home, right? And I'm just like, nope, I'm fishing. I'm having a good time. So I think that's why I'm losing losing the rep makes sense.
Yes. Okay. Cool. So you spend a rep to go fishing, and then you get your reply. So let me just quickly narrate what that is.
Yeah.
And sadly, I did not prepare this. Okay, so you only lose 2 stress.
Yep. It's fine. It's how much stress I had before I did this. Yeah.
Which is excellent, because I think what happens is you do have a good time gone fishing, and then you get back, and the reply you're going to get from Rohini is just like, this is not directly sent to you. There is some sort of enclosed please find that Rohini has.
Yeah.
So it's not that someone has violated your infosec here, but a letter has been enclosed that has entered the bureaucratic system. And it is a very beautiful poem written by Ustad Jaiklev.
I am going to murder this man. I think I rolled a 6. I had such a lovely time, and then I read this poem about how, the Keteracy mangrove dies when introduced to the heat of Udwasha or some shit.
Yes.
And I just think to myself, I am going to murder this fucking man.
And he has left this like with Mr. Rohini because he knows you're poking about in the bureaucracy, and he knows Rohini will find it, and he knows Rohini would deliver it to you.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god, yep, of course it will be released to stress.
Yes. And this is how you find out that he is definitely behind it too, because he basically just said so openly. He's just like, yep, fuck you.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I am seething.
Yep.
So now I'm gonna storm back to... But yeah, I mean, like, I'm gonna storm back, I guess.
Yes. Do we want to do
like, the Fursan haven't... Yeah.
Do we want to do Bidrohi's actions real quick? While Saida is storming back, if you're breezing through them? Klow?
Okay. I am going... So I went for a walk, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go... Yeah, I'm going to go talk to my lover Mumtaz. I'm going to go see her.
Yep.
If everything goes well, I will not actually talk to her much about anything.
Yes.
But we'll see. I'm going to indulge Vice first.
Yes, let's just breeze this through. Let's have it be an indulge Vice roll. Let's see if seeing your girlfriend makes you feel any better.
Yeah. I will flag that I only have 2 stress, but unless I have to indulge Vice, otherwise I'm going to get more stress in that because of trauma.
Yeah, because you're traumatized. So there may be an overindulgence.
There's definitely an overindulgence.
Yes, and you can object to this, but I'm just going to push the 2 extra heat on you because I think it makes sense.
Yes, I blab a lot.
Yeah.
I can't not.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. You blab, and it is not that Mumtaz sells you out. It's that fucking Cherubino who listens in on your pillow talk. I'm going to go out and have all of your overindulgences be Cherubino's fault.
Of course,
there is a person called Cherubino. For context, for Salty and Emma, there is a person called Cherubino who is Bidrohi's rival in the Blue Smoke Troop. And Cherubino is just a douchkin. That's all he is. We have, as enemies, do people like Omid, like literal demons, and then there's Cherubino. And sometimes Cherubino is pretty bad, nevertheless.
Yes. I want to point out that Cherubino is part of a faction that you were allied with, so that complicates things.
Listen. There's a reason Cherubino's listening at this door, okay? And it speaks much more about him than about me, okay?
Yes.
Listen.
No, absolutely.
Sure, but it's still making a problem. But
Yes. And he hears me. I think at some point I just start like actually, you know what? I think I fall asleep and then I start like yelling out in the middle of my sleep. And I don't talk in my sleep normally, but now I do. They were all over the leeches. Lord Exus.
Yeah. And Cherubino talks. So you're very close to a second wanted level now. But maybe the pus of Ixis will make the first one go away. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
I have not forgotten Moss's Silver Nail, by the way. The Silver Nail Giscard is still going to become relevant because it's still an asset for your next score. So fear not. What is Bidrohi's last downtime action? And then everyone's done. All the downtime actions.
I might roll a few energy. I'm going to heal. So just healing.
Okay. Let's quickly do that.
Yeah. How many dice? I'm using our Polomi, so that's what 2 dice, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's just go for it. 2 dice. If you roll
2
a 6.
Dice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you need to spend a coin to fully.
Yeah. Let's say that happens.
Yep. There we go. Excellent. So I think we'll pick this up with Saida storming back in, at which point Giscard has also arrived, and at whatever the pus of Ixis did, it has delayed the Fursan, if nothing else. So they haven't shown up yet. Giscard has time to get here first. And I'm going to present you with a choice at the end of the session, just flagging that about how to carry on forward. But for now, let's see Saida coming back. Because, I mean, you have received the declaration of war now, properly.
Yeah. So, I'm coming back. I'm fucking furious. There's nothing I can do about it. And I think as I return to the school, there's probably like a pallor about the place. Everything is just a bit dull. you know,
Mm-hmm.
which perfectly matches my mood, so I'm totally fine with that.
You know what?
And as I return,
There's not a speller. I think also, I mean, Prince, you can veto this, but I think it would be a cool detail if it started to rain quite a lot and the leeches are coming out.
Yeah, absolutely. It's raining and it's flooded a bit, and there are like snails and slugs and leeches about. Yeah, totally.
And I come in and I will just look around and I will yell, right, meeting. Hello, is anybody here? We need the Rising Moon School.
Yeah, that's about time for a meeting, I think.
Yes, hello.
Yes, hello.
Clementine. I'm sorry to tell you that you have joined us at a really tricky time, and I would not blame you if you were to leave, but I would be somewhat disappointed. Not in you, just that we could use you now, I think. He's not here, Vidrohi.
Vidrohi is away for now.
They didn't follow you.
Yeah.
Sorry?
They didn't follow you.
They did not follow me, for which I'm deeply grateful. Thank you. And maybe it's a good thing Vidrohi is not here, because it's possible that he would fly off the handle were he here. And out of character, I'm doing this on purpose, but I think in character, Saida would say this, and I think it's funny that both of them think the other one would really take badly to this. And I think she will say, it's not just that the falling star is at war with us. Mushfiq, you were on the nose there, but it goes all the way to the top. J. Clav, Tozan Diamond Tooth. I wouldn't be surprised if everyone in the school was waiting for an excuse to get at us. And either we hit them fast and hard, or we wait them out. And I don't think we're capable of waiting them out.
There is another thing that is urgent.
Great.
And I'll just
What?
throw it on
Some
the
demon
pile.
came and tried to eat you?
Well, it didn't try to eat us.
I think they just
There
blinked
was-
and they say. But
There was
a
an
demon?
emissary. There was an emissary from Lord Ixis who has generously offered to deal with the Forsan for us. Or at least make them go away for now. They're not here yet. So maybe it's worked. You understand that we couldn't very well go against it.
Yeah, Saida's pissed, but until now, they've been pissed in a J. Clav is here and it's annoying kind of way, right? And they are very angry. But Ixis, I think, evokes something very different, a very different kind of fury. And they go perfectly still. And then she just says, they threw Prince Khatam out into the wilderness when it was done. They threw the prince into the wilderness when it was done.
And now they're forcing us to work with them.
And I'm going to do something very stupid. So, I unwrap my sash. I whip it out. And I summon the demon that lives in it.
Oh, okay. So, relevant question here. Who here has any ability to see into the ghost field? Is it only Saida?
Clementine, surely.
Well, hang on a minute. What about my tiger mask? Does that do anything? I forget what I said it does.
Yeah, if you... Yeah.
Yeah, your tiger mask, I think, does give you that ability, actually. So...
it's a tiger spirit mask.
Yes. And what about Clem? Do you have any ability to see into the ghost field or nah?
No, just a dot in a tune.
Yep. So
nothing too exciting.
What is going to happen here is that as this sash is whipped out, there's going to be a lot of sand. That the weird thing that you can see, even if you're not attuned to the ghost field, right, is that the sand just doesn't stay still. It like whirls up when the sash slaps down, and then it just kind of keeps whirling.
I
So
imagine,
it
in
doesn't-
fact, that now the sash is also whirling in that, because like it's in the sash as well, right? So I've kind of like
Yeah.
let go of it. It's also like, so it's sand and sash together.
Yeah, it just kind of moves and twitches as if animated from like strong wind, even though you're indoors. Which is, I mean, it's still obviously supernatural, even if you don't, if you can't perceive things in the ghost field. But Mushfik then, if he puts on his mask, will see this like shape of a demon, which is this like desert nomad person wrapped in cloth, that's just sitting cross-legged on the table. With like no discernible facial features whatsoever, like veils over the face, turban over the head, thick gloves, every inch of skin covered by ragged cloth. And Samum is here.
Yeah. And Saida will say, in the name of the Prince of Endings, Samum, I bid you tell us, why is allying with Ixis worse than total destruction?
Interesting. So Samum turns towards you and let me check something real quick, actually. Because I don't remember Ixis's many monikers, and they feel like they're relevant.
Oh yeah, they are relevant, and the monikers are really good, so you should read them out.
So Ixis is the house of hidden shadows in light, and Ixis's descriptors are secret blade, shadow, silence, nothing, prince of the 5-part world.
Yep.
So so you asked why allying with Ixis is worse than total destruction.
Yep.
And it says, because in silence there is neither beginning nor end. Because it's a demon, and this is how they talk.
Yeah, absolutely. Did anybody but Saida hear that?
I don't think so, right? Like this demon is not perceptible to people who who don't try to attune. So I think what happens to everyone else is they will hear the desert wind, and you can like roll attune as a fortune roll if you think it makes sense for your character to try to discern it. But it's like a weird desert noise. Again, it's overtly supernatural, but it's not understandable necessarily.
I think Moss would instinctively try to become alert and try to attune when hearing like Deathlands related things.
Yes, makes sense. So roll attune as a fortune roll, just out of interest here to see if you can attune yourself to Samum, the desert demon. And you roll a 5, so yeah, I think you can. If you'd rolled a 6, you would also be able to like see and discern somewhat of this demon's nature, but for now you can understand that it is talking what it's saying. And Saida has never actually revealed Samum to anyone before this, right? You kept this totally secret.
This is why it's stupid. Because now everybody's going to find out apparently there's been a demon in my sash for I don't know how long, and maybe they'll start thinking, where was the demon before it was in the sash?
And I will turn to Clementine and ask, how do you react to this revelation of like something obviously supernatural with Saida's sash?
Oh, 100%. Attuning as well. Like, definitely.
Okay.
No reason not to. Demons are weird, hinky shit. Gotta
I
get
also,
in
I also want
Roll
to
as
know,
fortune
like,
roll.
because we didn't have the spotlight on you, but I would really want to know how you were reacting when you heard, okay, Ustad Jekle, Falling Star School, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think outwardly just complete and utter disdain, because what she's heard of the Falling Star School, they're just a bunch of nobles playing at war, and they're killers, and they don't get done for it. She despises that.
Excellent.
5 as well.
5.
Yeah, so same deal. You can hear this voice, you can sort of understand what it's saying, but you don't have any insight into the nature of this demon. However, both of you know that Saida has somehow bound the demon into her sash, which is not a normal thing to be able to do. I want to point out.
It's absolutely like nobody who does this is allowed to say to any other person, "Hey man, don't fuck with demons. That's the dumbest shit possible."
Yes. I will also point out, and I think this is relevant for both Moss and Clem, who have experience with the Deathlands. This is not a city demon. This is 100% a demon of the wilderness. So, there's also that.
Just a good old boy from the countryside. None of these city silicon ways.
Yes, indeed.
I'm so glad you said that, because now this has vindicated all of Augustus Khan. Great, fantastic.
Good.
Great, yeah. And I think...
So yes, it says because silence has neither beginning nor end.
Yeah.
Or something to that effect.
You're wearing your tiger mask, right?
Yeah, so Mushfik can just see this.
Yeah. So, in fact, what's happened is that everybody can understand what is going on, at least, right?
Yeah.
You can just respond.
I think I don't know. I was trying to figure out how Mushfik would respond to something like this, and because it could be one of two ways, which is what the fuck is going on, or it could be that he's known Saida for long enough that he just goes, "Yep, there it is."
Normal, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, of course. Is cavorting with this demon worse than being destroyed? Or
you ask Saida about some room?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and Saida will say, oh man, now Saida's, this is I'm glad I did this, because now I can take XP for struggling with my vice or trauma. But also, shit. And I will say, of course it is. That's why you shouldn't do it again.
Mm.
In any case, I suppose now that you've...
Well, no. I think that's... Well, no. See, if I did it, I would only be doing it. If you did it, you'd be doing it again.
We are all doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I'm going to look at Moss and I will say, and what did... So this demon came, it didn't eat you. So what did it ask for? Your soul, your eyes, your sense of regret. Did it just fall in love with you? Some of them do that. And maybe you can tell that that's what's happened to Saida, maybe.
Yeah. It wants killings. Random killings, gang violence, riots that kill people. Exactly the right person, of course. It wants us to become its assassins, and it wants whatever killing we do to be blamed on rioting Catharsis.
That seems very cheap for the help of Ixis itself. Just some murder?
I don't know if it's about the murder or about the people doing it.
I'm sorry, I've only been here for a couple of hours, but you're going to do what a demon has told you to do and cause untold chaos and killing people. I assume poor. And you're legitimately considering this as a proposition. So,
No, I've not been given the choice of considering it as a proposition. And let me tell you, what they did to the Prince of Endings will be paid for in full and with interest. But before we take any steps, we must accept that it has occurred to us. And it seems that we have been press gang.
I can't wait for you. I can't wait for you to explain to Clementine what the Prince of Endings is. Go on.
Yes.
Assuming Clementine asks.
Yes.
Oh, well,
is there more?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
What is... Okay, hold up. What is the Prince of Endings? Is this some Catharsis thing?
I get this look on my face as if to be like, oh god, I gotta do this again. And I will say, he is what comes after death. He is what protects us when we have nobody to protect us. He is a blade when we need a blade. He is a shield when we need a shield. Before the gates of death were broken, the Prince of Endings opened them and let the key bearers through. And after it was done, they threw him into the wilderness to be eaten by the dogs of the desert. Good luck, man. That was out of character, by the way. But yeah.
Yes. I think. Is it a good place to wrap up the session, or do we have more that needs to happen in this scene? I have one more thing, but
I think I'm just curious about how Clementine's going to respond to this.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see that first.
Just what?
Also, this is for Salty to know, but for not Clementine. Saida is absolutely making this shit up.
Yes.
No. When I finish, I will have not made it up because it will have always been true.
Yes.
This is very important.
We have all read Terry Pratchett.
No. This is Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. This is Dr. Dan's mention as 101 ways to use like verbs. Sorry, tenses. But the reason this is very important is that Saida, if they ever accept that they're making all of this up, it's all gonna fall into itself like a house of cards. So she's never going to admit that.
Yes. Whatever the Prince of Endings is, it is definitely religious. And I guess the question is, how does Clem react to this?
Yeah, there's just a reason that Clementine has never heard of any of this. There's a reason. None of us have ever heard of any of this.
Yeah. But you will have always had.
Yes.
That sounds like a fucking noble cause indeed.
So when you say that sounds like a noble cause, is this like how when somebody's like, dude, the earth is totally flat, and you're like, yeah, man, I definitely believe there's an ice wall that surrounds like the Arctic Circle.
No. Clem's all for it. Clem's like, that sounds sick as hell. Fuck yeah, I'm looking for a cause.
Finally, someone who's on my wavelength.
Yeah. Indeed. And so, as Clem says this, I think I have the perfect note to wrap this session on, which is that there is like a moment of silence as you deal with this, like, how the hell do we deal with the demon of Ixis? Until there is a knock on the door, and Saida, who wasn't aware of this before, will now become aware of a person from outside the city with supernatural powers, not involved in Uduashan politics, with the ability to conquer ghosts and demons. Discard a silver nail.
Yes!
Here close the doors to the House of Endings. Those who dwell within are Zoheb, called Klow, Aadiyat, called Soap, Soumithri, called Tree, and Emma. I have been Prince, your host. Our city of Uduasha is based on Blades in the Dark by John Harper and Evil Hat Productions, with special thanks to Johnstone Metzger. Follow us on Twitter or support us on kofi.com/desperateattune. If you want to engage further with us, we also have a Patreon at patreon.com/desperateattune, where you will get our newsletter, extra content, and updates from Uduasha.